Okay. Ooh, it's loud. Finally, I get to talk. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the first ever roast of Melissa Tolentino. She thought this was a wedding. We got her. We got her, yeah. Mel is actually up here because she hasn't realized yet how long I'll be talking. Yeah, should I get you a chair?
Maybe later.
Yeah, maybe later. We've come to this part of the night where we, as a couple, would normally, thank family, friends, and guests for their impact in our lives. But we've sort of been to enough weddings, and we know you all well enough to understand that true gratitude comes in two forms: the bar, and we have Ernest Ice Cream, which will be open after I'm done, so hopefully it's not all melted. So instead, I want to use my allocated speaking time to really highlight just a few individuals in my life. For those who don't know me that well, so probably like this side of the room. What better way to get to know me than to see who I surround myself with? And for those who do know me, you knew this was coming. Let's start with Stanley Lau, one of my groomsmen, Stanley. He just came up, embarrassed himself. Stan is one of my oldest friends, not in terms of how long we've known each other. I'm just saying it's really nice to have someone from the Bible here. I actually wrote a whole bunch of jokes of how the first wedding Stan went to, Jesus turned water into wine. But I think you already hear enough of my stupid chirps about your age every day. Our friendship has come a long way. Actually, one of the first times we met, you gave me your business card at church, which is weird. And then to today, you being able to stand up there with me for a whole 30 minutes, even though I know how fragile both your knees are. We had to hire physios to be on standby just for you. Thank you, Stan, for always being a sounding board, for bringing your centuries of wisdom and experience to our friendship, and for finally letting me ride in your Porsche 3 weeks ago, after you've had it for 4 years. Whatever, I'm over, it's kind of small. Anyways, from the oldest to one of the youngest, another my groomsman, Matt Chan. I know we said no kids, so I don't know how he got in here. The only reason we actually have a bar later tonight is because when Matt drinks, he tends to yell out his credit card PIN number. Not even a joke. So we're so grateful that he's going to be paying for this wedding. I think back to our first date in Kerrisdale. He made me meet him there because he was too scared to go any further east, as one would growing up in Dunbar. I remember thinking, how ambitious you were, how nice, how insightful. And then I really got to know you more and learned that you shower at least 3 or 4 times a day. And our friendship has just been downhill since. Thanks, Matt, for your chill demeanor, your thoughtfulness, and for having the same stupid humor as me. Just let me know if you need to shower again. I think they've got a really big sink back there. But speaking of dirty, we have someone from Regina here. Just kidding. Carmen Wong, give everyone a wave. Carmen. There he is. Just one drink, and he puts the red in red wedding. Look at that guy. Carmen is actually one of the physios that we hired for tonight. Correct me if this is wrong, Carmen. A physio is just what you become when you aren't good enough to be a doctor, right? There's other physios, I'm sorry. Carmen and I actually go quite a ways back. We lived in the same building. We played sports together, and we lead a small group together now. He's also getting married in a couple of weeks, so I cannot wait until tonight is over so we can sell some of this decor to you at a higher price. Carm is a great guy, and actually he's a really good athlete, so if anyone needs an extra player on their senior Rex men, senior rec team, give him a shout. Bo Tran, thanks for coming. How's your sunburn? You good? Yeah. The first time I met Bo, I accidentally said his name wrong, and he's been salty ever since. So for everyone, please don't make the same mistake. It's Bo, not Bow, but it's spelled B-A-O and not B-O. which is maybe why Matt showers so much. I don't want to actually make too many jokes about Bo because I'm scared of his wife, the notorious Jenny Tran from East Van. She hit me in the face with a dodgeball once, and my contacts went into the back of my eye. So I still flinch whenever I see her. Like, Bo, I appreciate your competitiveness, your organizational OCD, and just how quickly you can find photos of us on your phone and post them in group chats. This is actually a true fact. He spends more time looking at photos of me than he does looking at Jenny. And you know what? I also look at a lot of photos of him, which Mel has already accepted, so. Before I keep going, can someone wake Matt Chook up? Oh, sorry, you've had your eyes open this whole time, my bad. Matt, sorry. Matt, I do need to remind you tonight, just because we have people who used to work at HAPA here, it doesn't mean you can throw up, okay? There's no red dragons because of you. Matt actually recruited me onto our sports team back in like 2015, 2016, and then he gave me all the responsibilities and left the team. Victor, that sound familiar too? Matt brings this calming and fun dynamic to our group of guys, but his best trait is really his generosity. Like this past year, he let me beat him in fantasy football. And then again, he let me beat him in fantasy basketball. You know, he just keeps losing. He's very generous. Kenny Pack is also one of my groomsmen. Kenny is such a nice guy. He's actually really hard to make fun of until he grew out his ponytail. But thanks for taking time out of taking selfies to be here. Fun fact about Kenny, he used to be a cheerleader, not like the type with pom-poms and a skirt. Like that's on his own private time. But competitively, he used to be able to throw people in the air and catch them. And now look at him, he's the catch, am I right? Oh, he's single, ladies. At Kenny Pack on IG, I got you. Thanks, Kenny, for always being up to try new things, for bringing an upbeat attitude to all our craziness, and for keeping us all entertained with your random IG live streams. Most of us guys, wouldn't have gone so close if it wasn't for Burning Bush. That's the name of our sports team in the league, Pentasport. Our team has had a lot of fun over the years, and we've learned a lot. We've learned about the dangers of hearing loss with Adriana as our teammate. We learned that our team is old and injuries happen a lot now, which is why we have Crutches Corner over there. All sports injuries. Amy, you should maybe join them later. We learned that Tom is way too extroverted, Evan is way too good at every single sport that he plays, and Phil is way too encouraging, but only because he was practicing to be on Family Feud Canada. So good answer. We learned that even though the girls on our team like Winnie, Liz, Betsy, Olivia, and Jenny, all seem so nice, normally, they are ruthless when they play sports. Pastor Doug still has nightmares from playing dodgeball against us. PTSD, right? But the most memorable and probably just the most annoying thing about us is that we don't stop talking about how many championships we've won. Like that first time we won, and then that second time we won, and then third time we won. No, right, the fourth time we won. Just like Steph Curry, am I right? Yeah. In the end, though, it's about the friendships and community we made along the way. It's not the winning that matters. Speaking of not winning, though, Sonia, how's it going? You didn't like that. Shake it off. For most people who do know me, though, it's probably surprising that I've gone this long without talking about Anthony Ma. I've gotten to know Anthony quite well over the last few years. We're in about 30 different WhatsApp group chats together, not even a joke. Pentasport, Run for H2O, the Penta board. We've even been to Guatemala twice. And then one night in the village that we were in, I woke up, I looked over, and he was sitting up and just staring at me. we really got to know each other quite well. But before Anthony met me, he actually didn't know what laughter was. Since then, he's managed to tell a joke or two. I'm just really great to see progress, buddy. We're actually just very different personality-wise. He's a very gentle soul, and I just say what's on my mind. Sorry, I went the wrong way. Yeah, I'm tearing up. He's easily confused, and I love confusing him. But the one thing I've actually learned about Anthony is that he hates speaking in front of people. Like, he gets so nervous, which is why I want to invite him up right now to say a few words. I'm just kidding. I won't embarrass you. You'll embarrass yourself later on the dance floor. He was sweating. Not only are we good friends, Anthony and I are also part of Rise and Do, along with Jocelyn. Rise and Do is our Christian's apparel brand that we run together. Jocelyn brings the energy up, and Anthony brings it right back down. Josh, just a reminder, please don't lose your phone or your glasses partying tonight. Like, it won't be the first time. I also have some friends from journalism days here, Matt, Andrea, and Mark. They have seen me grow up from an immature young man to an immature, slightly older man. We go way back, covering the Olympics and drinking, covering the Stanley Cup final and drinking. But we all found our way out of journalism, except Andrea. I'm going to brag for you here, Andrea, because I'm a good friend. Andrea was recently named number 25 on Vancouver Magazine's top 50 most powerful people in the city. But as you know, as an Asian, if you're not number one, that's a fail. So please try harder next year. Matt, Majish, thanks for coming. You're here because we just needed more diversity at this wedding. Man, it is hard to find white men these days. One of my really close friends, Sarah, made it. And you made it on time. I'm shocked. Not like the person beside you. But Sarah and I go way back. And really the only reason we're still friends is because she's one of the most gullible people that I know. And like every day is April Fool's with you. I just have so many stories about Sarah. She tried to sell her car for Bitcoins in like 2010. She got like super jacked one summer to play quarterback for a lingerie football league team, even though she can't throw a football. And then we hung out with Guns N' Roses together. But one thing I will never forget is that at her wedding a couple years ago, on the seating chart, she spelled my name wrong. So I did the same thing back to her today. Never forget, like it was out there, yeah. I made sure you know. I'm glad to be able to call Sarah a great friend, and I can make fun of you all night, but I know you're 8 months pregnant, and you said if you laugh, you'll pee yourself. So can we get a cleanup over like table 18? Yeah, just mop up the floor over there. My cousin is here. He's one of my groomsmen, Sherrod Sherrard. I've known you my whole life. I still don't know how to say your name correctly. I know, man. Thanks for flying in from Chicago. There's also a few other people from out of town here, mostly Americans. We won't call you out. We don't want people to avoid you. But finally, there's this person. Sorry, Mel, I spent more time writing these jokes than I did writing our vows. Honesty is an important part of marriage, okay? Some relationships speak to undying love. Some speak to overcoming adversity. But our relationship speaks to the dangers of the internet, from which I was scouted and recruited. So parents, please take note, be careful. Check your IG DMs, because you never know who's gonna message. By now you know that Mel is a great baker, so it's only fitting that she just married a beefcake. I told her I wasn't going to do that joke, but she also says she likes surprises. So there we go. I still vividly remember our first date because I had to rush home afterwards to watch Game of Thrones. Great episode. But ever since then, I'll admit, I have been in awe of you. I am in awe of how you can memorize every single line from Friends, yet forget something as simple as 50 minus 30. I am in awe of how often you need to fix your hair and how you and Henry are in a constant competition to see who can shed more. I am in awe of how for 3 years now, you've been able to fake laugh at all my jokes. Just really impressive. Terrific acting. I am in awe of your love and caring nature for Henry, but also how you always threaten to punch his face because he's so cute. You know, it's true what they say, a girl can leave Saskatoon, but Saskatoon can never leave a girl. I was actually gonna write a longer roast for you, but we have the rest of life now for me to make fun of you. And I know you're all sick of me talking by now, so to end it off, Mel, you like to say what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. So tonight, I am so excited to announce that I am now a proud new part owner of Cha Time Saskatoon. Thank you.
Double team! Yes! Remember me!
What did I get myself into? I shouldn't have agreed to let him talk that long. I'm so sorry.